What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. Did your Christmas not go the way that you wanted? Did you not get the gifts you asked for? Are your in-laws, cousins, uncles, and other unsavory members of your family still super horrible? Well, if you sign this contract right here, our Lord Mephistopheles, today at the request of hate-proof Mufasa, will surely set everything right in your life, you know, for a nominal fee. Anyway, if you guys are liking what you're seeing, remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Today, this video was brought to you, in part, with a homebrew tyrant code by the man who requested it. User Planetary Samurai! Miss you, Justin. Come throw dice around with us. It was sweet. Now, let's dive in. So on planet Earth, Mephistopheles is a demon featured in German folklore, originally appearing in literature as the demon in The Legend of Faust. That demon that Faust wagers his soul against. That's fun. That sounds amazing. On planet Earth, Mephistopheles is already trapped in his own hell by serving the devil. He warns Faust of the choice he's making by selling his soul, and in Pathfinder it's kind of the same thing. Crack open your copy of Book of the Damned and you'll see Mephistopheles is one of the archdevils. Matter of fact, the most powerful of the archdevils. This guy offers the world to those willing to pay his price. He's the lord of the 8th circle of hell, hell's seneschal and manipulator of humanity, and he definitely has the magic and resources to basically grant anything your little heart might desire. However, Mephistopheles signs each of his contracts in mortal blood and ends every deal richer in souls. Few can deny the deadly temptations and fiery rhetoric of hell's most fervent apostle, who actually is born literally of hell itself. When Asmodeus arrived in what would become hell, and if you want to learn more about that story there, follow this card right up here, we'll tell you all about it. He began to survey his newly claimed land. In creating the layers of hell, he stripped the scorched skin off the land, molded it into a being of ashes and hellfire, and named it, or rather him, Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles was the first devil. He knew the will of the pit, and that it would welcome the hordes of fallen angels, and so he revealed to Asmodeus the secrets that would make his empire the ordered and unconquerable thing that it is today. Mephistopheles exudes charisma, and he can charm a creature with but a gesture. He has the skin the color of embers over hell's scarred plains, and elaborate horns, as well as 3 sets of wings, not unlike an infernal solar angel. Mephistopheles wears fantastic jewels and the robes of an exotic prince, looking not unlike an emissary of some decadent and darkly fantastic empire, which basically is true. All of these belongings, of course, being stripped from mortals unable to fulfill their bargains. Chief among all of Mephistopheles' gear, however, is an adamantine quill known as Vizier, which is said to have been scratched from the pit of Nessus by Dahak himself. That was actually the first video in Wednesday afternoon worship. Follow this card right up here. We'll teach you about some dragons. Now, of course, Mephistopheles himself is lawful evil. His domains are evil, knowledge, law, and rune, with the subdomains devil, language, memory, and thought. His favored weapon is the trident, and his unholy symbol a trident and ring. To perform Mephistopheles' deific obedience, use a quill and a vial of blood as ink and draw up a contract on a roll of parchment in which you repledge your soul and your service to Mephistopheles in exchange for the power the Crimson Sun grants you this day and during your lifetime. Roll the parchment up and seal it with any symbol of Mephistopheles you see fit. In return, it's DR1 over good and silver. Doesn't quite seem worth it to constantly pledge your soul to the thing, but okay, sure. Have fun. Very flavorful. Evangelist Boons. Detect secret doors thrice a day, augury twice a day, or blood biography once a day. At level 16, as a standard action, you can forge deep and unsettling ties to the places and individuals around you. While this ability is in effect, an enemy that comes within 5 feet of you must will save at 10 plus half your hit dice plus your cha, or be compelled to blurt out a single secret that looms heavy in its mind. This could be a personally embarrassing detail, or it could be secret plans to attack or sabotage you at the GM's discretion. Additionally, creatures that fail their will save become confused for as long as you maintain the supernatural ability. Once you've activated it, maintaining it as a free action, you can dismiss the Hellfire Testament as a free action, and you can use this ability for a number of rounds per day equal to your hit dice. The duration need not be used all at once, but must be used in 1-round increments regardless of the save result. The creature can't be affected by it again for 24 hours, so that's fun. I guess mechanically speaking, that's the rogue sneaking up on you that has to shout out, "I'm gonna stab ya!" once it gets within 5 feet and below its stealth. But in an intrigue game, that's even more fun, just like to have the GM go through all the sins of all the random people all across the town. Man, will you have the gossip. Anyway, 20th level. 3 times per day as a standard action, you can target a living creature and offer dark whispers of camaraderie and flattery. Will save at 10 plus half your hit dice plus your cha, and unless it passes that save, it believes you are incredibly trustworthy and will refuse to harm you with any of its attacks or abilities. For a number of rounds equal to your hit dice, and you gain a plus 20 profane bonus on diplomacy checks to influence its attitude or make a request. If any of its allies attempt to harm you during this period, the creature will defend you however it is able. Creatures can't be affected by this more than once in a 24-hour period. This is a mind-affecting effect also. It's your new best friend. Anyway, Exalted Boons. It's Memorize Page thrice a day, Honeyed Tongue twice a day, or Marionette Possession once a day. At 16th level, the full weight of the Crimson Sun backs the infernal contracts you sign, even if the signatories are coerced or otherwise tricked into agreement. 3 times per day as a standard action, you can target a creature to bind it to a special hell-backed contract. Will save DC 10 plus half your hit dice plus your cha. Should it fail for a number of rounds equal to your hit dice, it cannot make bodily contact with you, including making attacks with manufactured weapons, as if it were a good aligned summoned creature and you had a pro-good spell on you. You can attack the affected creature without penalty every time the creature attempts to attack you. While this ability is in effect, it's nauseated for a round, no save. Nice. It's like student loans, but they make you throw up. Deal, I'm in. 20th level. You can marshal the might of hell to briefly imprison your enemies, functioning as a mass icy prison using your hit dice as your caster level, except the targets are trapped in infernal flames, and the prison deals fire damage instead of cold damage. Affected creatures can quench the shifting wall of flames in the same way they could break an icy prison. The Create Water spell does nothing, but the Quench spell will. Also, there's no magic like control magic. Thanks, Mephistopheles. Anywho, Sentinel Boons, Keen Senses, thrice a day, Blood Armor twice a day, or Chain of Perdition once a day. At 16th level, you are well versed in the complex and draconian laws of hell and those that bind devils to service, and you can imitate this binding magic to weaken your foes, casting Symbol of Weakness once per day as a standard action. At 20th level, you can call upon the infernal power of the legions of devils that answer to Mephistopheles to strengthen your body and mind. Once a day, you can call down 2 infernally loyal barbed devils as if using Summon Monster 9. Now, that's still not the best. At 20th level, we're probably outrunning them anyway. But those guys aren't necessarily going to kill us if we don't do lawful evil things, so maybe playable. But wait, my friends, there's more. I'm adding this in at the last minute because I didn't know it existed until literally as I was making this video. But as of Pathfinder 102, Breaking the Bones of Hell, Book 6 of the Hell's Rebels adventure path, which came out before Book of the Damned, Mephistopheles has a second set of boons, as well as a second obedience. Now, so far as I'm aware, both of these are still legal, both of these are still playable, and hey, if you want to diverse obedience and mix and match, I don't see why not. So, with no further ado, to perform Mephistopheles' whoa, that's a mouthful, second deific obedience. Every day, you must lie to someone for your own personal gain. This cannot be the same person more than once a week. Additionally, once per week, you must write down a new secret that you've learned about someone else and burn it as a sacrifice to Mephistopheles. In return, you gain a +4 profane bonus to diplomacy checks attempted against targets whose attitudes are unfriendly or worse. So better return, but harder to accomplish boon, I would say. Anywho, Evangelist Boons Part 2, it's Charm Person, thrice a day. undetectable alignment twice a day or once a day, suggestion. At 16th level, you can use your bluff skill to demoralize opponents and influence an opponent's attitude as though it were the intimidate skill. This effect functions the same. Additionally, you may use the knowledge religion skill on any check related to knowing about or interpreting the law, including infernal contracts. Okay, so just right out the gate, that's so much better. You can get a really high intimidate score with intimidating prowess and an underwater rager throwing strength con sha at one check, yes, but some people won't be spec'd to do that. And this makes you mono-skilled. You don't have to put those ranks into intimidate, and you can still, scare people with your lies. Also, that's basically knowledge religion in place of, like, nobility, local, the plains probably also. Not bad. Not bad at all. Anywho, 20th level. Whenever you use the bluff skill, you can use the diplomacy skill to influence an NPC's attitude at the same time. Both skill checks are made independently, so even if one fails, the other might succeed, suggesting an obvious but charming falsehood or an aggravating but convincing lie. Additionally, any spell of the Charm subschool that you cast has its DC increased by 2. Hooray! The Kitsune sorcerers are even more powerful. To say nothing of the infernal blooded sorcerers, hooray for more power for them. Anywho, exalted boons. Unseen Servant thrice a day, Detect Thoughts twice a day, or Glibness once a day. At 16th level, you gain a +4 bonus on disguise checks to pass as a worshipper of another deity, and can cast spells using holy symbols other than your own. Additionally, for a number of hours per day equal to your charisma modifier, a minimum of 1, you can disguise your alignment. By spending a standard action, you hide your true alignment and instead detect as being of the same alignment as the deity whose holy symbol you are wearing. Sign me up, intrigue. Now at 20th level, a number of times per day equal to your charisma, you can deal damage to a creature in your line of sight that you have magically healed within the past 24 hours. The damage equals the amount restored by the highest level spell with the healing descriptor that you can cast. This may result in you causing more damage than you healed, which is, really, really, really powerful. This damage occurs in a single round. In the case of healing spells that heal over multiple rounds, only healing provided in the first round is counted when determining damage, but you're 20th level probably when you took this, and this is on the Exalted path, so a lot of people can get it without dipping. That makes it so good. You're pretending to be a priest of, like Iomade. Slip in, maybe when the allied NPC army of devils attacks the temple, you're there, you help fight them. Someone really important got hit, it's cool. Cure Light wounds him. Then when you turn on him at 20th level, Revoke and Heal is the best spell you can cast at 20th level. You just did 200 damage for free. Disgusting. Oh my god, these are so much better. Maybe they were supposed to be nerfed in Book of the Damned, and this information was best left buried. Anywho. Sentinel boons. It's Doom, thrice a day, Eagle's Splendor twice a day, or Keen Edge once. At 16th level, a number of times per day equal to your charisma modifier, again, a minimum of 1. You can add your charisma modifier, a minimum of 1, to your combat maneuver bonus. Man, okay, that goes real good with the Totori monk that I just built, given the fact that you could get the Smite Evil all the time, not just hoping that you're targeting an evil person, though in this case he would have been a tyrant and doesn't need the anti-paladin levels. Just grab this and just have it without the smite, though you wouldn't get the extra damage, and I guess that means we wouldn't have the DC 100 Saver die. Did you miss that one? By the way, it's disgusting. Follow this card right up here. We'll get you there. Anyway, at 20th level, once per day, upon defeating an opponent, you can heal it and attempt to force it to obey you. As soon as you reduce a living creature to -1 or fewer hit points, you can force it to attempt a will save with a DC equal to 10 plus your hit dice plus your charisma. If it succeeds, it begins dying as normal. If the target fails, it is restored to 1 hit point and is affected as per the spell Charm Monster. Remember, though it calls this out specifically in the boon, because I feel like a lot of people don't know, everyone can always do this. The target can willingly fail the save, and this effect lasts for a number of minutes equal to your charisma modifier. At the end of the period, the target behaves as normal. And if that's not flavorful for a deal with the devil, I do not know what is. Man, I am so glad I went back and read these. Okay, enough about that. Back to your regularly scheduled stats for Mephistopheles. Now, if you make your GM real happy, because as of Bestiary 6, Mephistopheles does in fact have stats we can fight this CR30 monstrosity, maybe your GM will let you call this thing down. GMs, use wisely. Again, Mephistopheles is one of the strongest creatures in Pathfinder. It's almost 10 million experience to kill this dude. He's got a lot of crazy stuff going on, but we're just gonna hit the special abilities. First up, Ashen Essence. Despite his appearance, Mephistopheles has a body formed of the ashes and brimstone of hell rather than flesh and blood. Mephistopheles cannot be blinded, dazzled, or deafened, and he's immune to bleed damage, blood drain, critical hits, and precision-based damage. In addition, once per minute, when hit by a melee or ranged attack, as an immediate action, Mephistopheles can cause his body and all of his gear to collapse into ashes while he teleports to any point within 30 feet of his prior position, taking no damage from the triggering attack. Within his realm of Kaina, he can trigger this power by expending one use of Mythic Power, yeah, it's fun, and can teleport up to 300 feet, or up to 30 feet, even when subject to effects that normally would stop him from doing so. Gross. Mephistopheles, of course, is unsurpassed at wiggling his way into a creature's good graces and ferreting out secrets. His Discern Lies spell-like ability automatically affects all creatures within 30 feet, and he doesn't need to concentrate to know whether a target is lying, although it's a will save every time to negate as normal. Anyone who attempts to lie when responding to a direct question posed by Mephistopheles must succeed at a DC 41 will save or take a D3 of wisdom drain and be unable to speak for 24 hours. Mephistopheles can of course end this vow of silence at will as a free action if you'd like to try to lie again and take more wisdom drain. This is mind-affecting cha-based thing. That's not bad. That's definitely a thing. Use that in the right intrigue setting, especially if Mephistopheles has snuck up on people. Yeah, no, they're super dead. Now, like we said, Mephistopheles has 3 pairs of wings, and while the damage caused by all 6 wings is identical, the additional effect caused by a strike from a wing depends on its nature. The Burning Wings will deal an additional d6 of fire damage, and it's a DC 43 reflex save where you catch fire. The Draconic Wings deal 2d6 points of bleed damage, and the Raven Wings cause permanent blindness unless you pass a DC 43 fort save. So this guy's targeting all 3 of your saves. That makes him especially powerful, because every character, no matter how you optimize, will always have a save that's 2 or 3 points lower than the rest of them, and that's how we get him. Nice. As a full round action, Mephistopheles can grant a willing non-devil a +4 profane bonus to 1 ability score. This allows him to communicate telepathically with and use mind-affecting spell-like abilities on the creature at any distance, even across the planes. A creature can have only one such divine gift at a time. The gift can be removed with Dispel Evil or Dispel Law, or Mephistopheles can remove it as a free action, which will deal 3d6 points of charisma drained to the target, no save. In addition, a creature that accepts a wish from Mephistopheles immediately becomes lawful evil unless they pass a DC 41 will save, after which they gain the benefits of Good Hope for a week, followed by Crushing Despair for 1d6 months. Gross. Now, Mephistopheles is definitely carrying a sweet trident into battle, but the artifact that's called into question in his entry is in fact Vizineer. As a full round action that does not provoke attacks of opportunity, he can use that adamantine quill pen to inscribe a magic circle against good or chaos, place a mark of justice, or pen an infernal contract. These contracts can grant any number of boons, but typically do so in the form of a wish spell or the Devil-bound template. Vizineer is wielded as a +1 adamantine keen wounding dagger, but Mephistopheles rarely does so. The quill can store a sample of blood from every creature it strikes, storing up to 33 blood samples at a time. The quill gains the Bane special ability against any creature whose blood it stores, and marks the target as if Mephistopheles had used a witch's scar hex on it, allowing him to use his spell likes on that creature within a range of a mile, or if we're in Kaina, an unlimited range. Mephistopheles can expend 1 stored blood sample as a full round action to inscribe a symbol spell of any type he wishes, or to call the creature to him as if he'd cast Greater Planar Binding, regardless of the creature's actual type, not limited to calling outsiders just "Get over here!" and take a bunch of wisdom drain because you're going to try to lie and get out. That is probably the most flavorful, super powerful monster I've ever seen in my life. If this is not the capstone boss of an intrigue game, I don't know what is, but hey, Tyrant Anti-Paladins can be lawful evil. So, with no further ado, here is Black Dragon Gaming's own homebrewed custom Tyrant code. For Mephistopheles, it goes as such. All the world's treasures and pleasures are mine by right. The Crimson Sun has bestowed them upon me, and I will take them as my own. Those who cannot see through my lies deserve nothing more than to suffer them. My words will cut as deep as my trident. The Devil King is as old as hell itself, and he knows the wills of the plane. I will listen when he speaks, for his words carry all the weight of hell itself. As my lord ends each day with more souls, so will I end my day with more material wealth. The contracts that I pen will seem simple, but shall never put words to parchment unless it definitively costs a mortal their soul. Okay, so I've never really had a chance to use Mephistopheles, came really close in Lordly Caliber, not gonna lie. But again, as I look at these stats, as I look at these abilities, this is definitely the boss monster to use in an intrigue game. Curse of Strahd style, in such a way that Mephistopheles is constantly appearing all over the place. Being able to detect lies in a room full of politicians, for example, Wisdom Drain at a DC 41 will save that people can't detect because Mephistopheles has disguised himself as just a little old woman, then suddenly everyone's taken way too much damage. Definitely feels like a fun thing to drop in the middle of a town, call the players out, and then they of course get their wisdom drain as well. I've GM'd for some LEs in my time. I've GM'd for a player who worshipped an archdevil. I've GM'd for a player who worshipped an infernal duke, but never something quite this evil. And that's kind of a scary thought, you know? Like, when you die, if you worship Mephistopheles, you are definitively going to the bad place. Your soul is literally at the whim of Mephistopheles himself, so you definitely have to think that either A, the player character has some kind of mental disorder and thinks that this is a good thing, or on the other side of that, the player character has definitively seen wealth throughout their career just flooded into them in return for worshipping an archdevil. We're talking start with extra wealth by level, we're talking more magic items, circumstance bonuses. Oh, you know, by the way, for his divine gift, let's say Mephistopheles gives you a plus 20 profane bonus on one bluff check of your choice. Seems flavorful. But what do you guys think about Mephistopheles? Have we worshipped him? Have we used him in our campaigns? Have we crusaded into hell or into heaven to kill or alongside the man? Throw it in the comments, let me know. We talked about Tulis before, but next week on Wednesday Afternoon Worship Truly, we'll be getting to that third party god. We'll see you then.